Is this finally a good action camera by SJCAM? The SJ11 Active seems to tick most boxes, but are there any serious drawbacks? Let's inspect. Hey everybody, good to meet you. I'm the Tech Mishka. This is the latest from SJCAM called SJ11 Active, and if you're interested in action cameras, and most certainly you remember SJCAM for being extremely popular with their first SJ4000 series, then they have released a few brilliant models like the SJ6 and the SJ7, and then all of a sudden there has been a drop in terms of quality which continues even nowadays. But I have some high hopes about this action camera because finally I can feel some good build quality, and in this episode it's time to find out everything meaningful about the SJ11 Active. When I tell you that the launch price is $189, it certainly is a rough start because lovely action cameras like Insta360 One R would cost just a few bucks more than that when discounted and might offer significantly better image quality. Certainly a more than twice cheaper GoPro alternative, and sounds like it may actually be good enough in most cases, but let's make sure we thoroughly explore everything. Unboxing as a starter, some good vibes present. The box is very similar to SJCAM's packs from the past few years. The size suggests that there might be some accessories included, just like the old days. SJ11 Active arrives in its waterproof case, so let's take it out. This on the back looks like a pre-applied screen protector. Nah, apparently not. It anyways seemed too good to be true, but the build quality is great so far. There's a removable battery, and the camera seems to work. Sounds like my expectations from SJCAM products are pretty low already. Now, looking back at the box, this definitely is upsetting, but hey, there are some accessories included. It's always good to see some mounts, holder and protectors, regardless how cheap they are. Giving away a second battery was about to be brilliant, but not this time. I also got a few separate accessories from SJCAM. These are to be ordered from the official website or their Amazon or AliExpress shops accordingly. Given the quality, I'd suggest you to spend your money elsewhere. SJ11 Active is a new iteration of the well-known quality housing of the latest SJCAM action camera models. It is waterproof on its own, and if you need to dive deeper, better use the included diving case. One button operation, the rest is entirely based on touchscreen commands. There's a front display and a removable lens, which by the way has the same thread as the one for the DJI Osmo Action Generation 1. In my case, I still keep an old set of ND filters. Let's hope we're gonna be able to actually use them. Before the many samples and the thoughts around user interface and image quality, here's an overview of my homework about the specs. It's been quite a challenging research, so according to a source from SJCAM, it adopts a Novatec system on a chip, a Sony image sensor, up to 4K 30 frames per second recording resolution, wide-angle lens, a 6-axis gyro stabilization, a rechargeable battery with capacity of 1300 mAh, dual-band Wi-Fi, and a smartphone app. Weight of the camera is around 85 grams. The specs definitely sound good and make rather good sense. It has almost everything important which is valid now for 2023. I think the most impressive are the build quality and the fact it supports this dual display setup. But if we look into the system on a chip inside and the image sensor, they are rather unimpressive and not on par with the capabilities that we're going to find with the latest generations of GoPro, DJI and Insta360. So could be that SJCAM have created something really impressive in terms of image quality and user experience. Let's try. SJ11 Active brings back some of the old, well-working interface ideas. It has very responsive and bright display, which is a pleasure to work with. There are a few shooting modes that you can choose from, and you can quickly switch between them. That's a variety of video recording resolutions, but there is unfortunately no way to film in 24 or 25 frames per second. Looking at the video features, there seems to be HDR mode, a wide dynamic range mode, ways to control sharpness, saturation, contrast. This is indeed promising. What you won't find, though, is the ability to record in flat color mode or to lock the shutter speed. Looks like the value is automatic, and this fact kind of makes using of ND filters almost irrelevant over here. Inside the settings, there is nothing too interesting. I probably should highlight the few display adjustments, the pre-record feature and the ability to control the screen brightness. This is always nice to have. Speaking of the screen, should you want to switch between the front and the rear one, it requires a triple press and patience of around 4 seconds, because that's how long it takes for the camera to switch to the front one. The first time I did it, I thought the camera has crashed. Looks like this is standard behavior. To test the true performance of the image sensor and the system on a chip, here are more samples. In daytime, the 4K footage looks very good. Sadly, the camera has no way to apply stabilization and distortion correction at the same time, but most people like action cameras because of the fisheye effect anyway. The field of view is quite wide, however, not any wider even than the linear mode of a GoPro Hero 11. According to GoPro, the Hero 11 in this mode has a 95-degree diagonal field of view, and SJCAM somehow claim theirs is 154 degrees. While I don't want to comment on this misleading information, we can agree that both cameras are in different leagues about image quality. So if you wonder why there is such a big price difference, I think this says enough. On the other hand, if these side-by-side samples look rather similar to you, then I guess the SJ11 Active would be a great choice for your purposes at this point of the learning curve. Stabilization is rather on the good side, I'd say even exceptional for the system on a chip inside. It's a fairly old processor, something that we got with the SJ8 Plus action camera back in 2018. Yes, this is how old the hardware in this so-called new action camera is. Low light scenes are not the ideal environment to challenge an action camera with, because there will be a lot of artifacts. If you want maximum quality, get a gimbal and disable the image stabilization. This will do some magic with the shutter speed and the ISO, and the video is going to look better. Slow motion is also present, 120 frames per second in 1080p, and quality is acceptable for a budget device. Totally not on par with what a decent action camera like the Osmo Action 3 is gonna do, of course. Here we go, our usual quick audio test. The internal microphone of the SJ11 Active, outdoors. Not too much of wind, but there's some background noise, and now your task is to let me know what do you think of the microphone quality. As soon as you're ready to review your footage or to reconfigure the SJ11 Active, SJCAM Zone is the smartphone app you're going to need. I've never liked the app, but it's alright for file transfer and basic configuration, not much else to do here if you expect presets or LUTs. Such are unfortunately not available. What is present though are some extra modes, including live streaming mode and web camera mode. These are some nice to have enhancements. At least you can be certain that you're going to have a good working web camera with a very wide field of view. Now, if you want me to speak of the drawbacks, let's do it. Battery life is underwhelming. No pro-grade features, not that wide field of view, the laggy menus measured by 2023 standards, and the very basic smartphone app. So I'm really pleased to see SJCAM going sort of back to their roots with decent build quality, very good execution of the menus, and rather steady, consistent performance. I guess if they release this year a Pro version supporting up to 4K 60 FPS or 4K 120, this finally is going to be something threatening the top 3 brands that are right now ruling the market. Well, that's been everything that, in my opinion, you have to know about the SJ11 Action. I would say that's a rather good action camera, significantly better than the last few models that I have explored from the company. In case you have some questions or you want to share your opinion, please be invited. Comments are down below the video. As usual, more information about the product, way to order it, possibly a discount if I manage to find something good for you. That's going to be placed in the video description area. And in the meanwhile, you can subscribe, you can like the video, and I'll see you in a few days' time. Bye!